Good morning, Pips. Today is the 9th of May 2016. It's a Monday. It's 11:10 a.m. I wanted to talk about this topic for some time now. It happened about 2 or 3 days ago that this news broke out. It's regarding a Malaysian girl by the name of Christine Christine Lee. That's her. She looks alright. It's okay. Of course, this picture is taken with a smartphone where they put the smartphone at an angle that accentuates or enlarges the eye so it looks like a anime character. If you look at this picture and you judge her character by this, you would think that she's a cosplayer, a person who has cosplayed before or knows the tips and tricks of making oneself look attractive when she is photographing herself. I wouldn't say she is overly beautiful, but I think she has the brains for a very good and fruitful life, hopefully not in jail. She was pursuing a degree in chemical engineering. She is in her 3rd year, so it takes a lot of brains to go into chemical engineering, and since she is Chinese, she has the aptitude for mathematics, so it should be a breeze for her. But bear in mind, when it comes to chemical engineering, which I have some knowledge of, I went to chemical engineering school, wanted to get a degree, but it was so boring that I quit in my 1st year. It was full of maths and it was full of flow charts, heat charts, whatever, flow rates. It was boring, and I think now chemical engineering, or when it comes to chemical engineering, it is a given that you will end up in the petroleum industry, because that's where the moolah or the money is. Previously, until 1 year ago, because when the price of oil fell from almost $100 per barrel to now, which I'm not sure, I think it's around $30. So it's not that lucrative an industry. So what did she do, this Miss Christine Lee, the girl with the smarts, and hopefully won't be in jail, in an Australian jail? About 3-4 years ago, I think in the year of 2012, she got an overdraft from a bank called Westpac, that is an Australian bank. She got an overdraft of 4.3 million Australian dollars. 4.3 million dollar. Is that how they say it? I'm not sure. God knows, I'm not a Crocodile Dundee or a Irvin, forgot his surname, the one who got stabbed in the heart by a stingray. That Irvin, not Irvin Rommel, the German great tank commander or tank officer. Not that Irvin Rommel. Steve Irwin, yes, Steve Irwin, the legendary Steve Irwin, the conservationist who owns a zoo in Australia and has a TV program, who died from the fruits of his labor, which is protecting wildlife, kinda, maybe. So, Christine Lee, all of us have dreamed of finding big money. Rather, I don't dream of actually inheriting money, because that means somebody that you love would have died in order for you to receive part of their fortune or or inherit some of their money. No, not in terms of inheritance. I have always dreamed of actually stumbling upon a suitcase full of money. Yeah, I dream of that. I still dream of it. Or getting lottery, struck by lightning, not physically being struck by lightning, but metaphorically being struck by lightning. The odds of winning a lottery, it's very slim. I want to like win the first prize, like 4 million US dollars, whatever. Still dream of that, but I prefer to like stumble upon a suitcase full of money. Of course, a lot of people, good Samaritans, have returned some money, like 20,000 US dollars, which was left in the cab. So there are good people out there who give the money back and was reported in the newspaper. But what if somebody took the money and not report it at all? I think there would have been more people who rather just touch the nose or something. I'm not sure what's that thing called. They stumble upon the money and they just keep it for themselves and forget about it. Deny everything and everything will be right. What's that saying? There's one saying, ignorance is bliss, something like that. So I wouldn't want to stumble upon money, and I don't want all the baggage that comes with it. I don't want it to be like mafia money, or a money lender's money, gangsters money, drug money. I don't want that. I don't want people to like want to kill me or something like that in order to retrieve the money. Like, I don't want it to be my life to be like a movie where if I stumble upon money and I keep it, and some hitman will come and try to get me. Real life and movie life, it's quite different, and I don't want that type of movie life. I want to keep the money. The money is from an old pensioner who has been keeping a lot of money and is saving a lot of money. I just want to keep it. Of course, you might think, oh, you're such an asshole. That money belongs to that old man. I would say that he has lived long enough, so it's time for the younger generation to enjoy the fruits of somebody else's labor. But now, if I were like Christine, were to stumble upon a large sum of money, what would I have done with it? I'm not the spendthrift type of person. I would not spend money unless it benefits me in the long run. I would, as I said earlier, I do not want it to be like drug money. I would little bit by little bit. Let's say it's 4 million. I would try to put the money into a bank, like say in what's that? Unsuspicious amount of money in the bank, like maybe 50,000 ringgit a month. Just put it inside. Make sure that they won't like catch on that, wow, there's a lot of money, holy shit, alarm bells. Try to get the information first by being buddies with a bank officer or whatever. Just ask them what the procedures are like in the bank, what would set off alarm bells when suddenly there's an influx of money into a bank account. So you have to learn a lot of things. You have to try to learn things first before you put or deposit the money into the bank. And once you put it in the bank, then you put in the fixed deposit. In Australia and New Zealand, they don't call it fixed deposit, they call it some time deposit, where for the amount that you put in the bank, you get 3.4%. That's the maximum rate in Malaysia. 3.4% out of that amount that you have put in the time deposit or the fixed deposit. So in New Zealand and Australia, I think it's much higher than 3.4%. I think it's around 4% to 7%, I'm not sure. But it's a very good fixed deposit in New Zealand. Put your money there, I think. So she got roughly 13 million ringgit. 13 million ringgit. I just imagine myself having 13 million ringgit in the bank, and the calculator has enough digits, slots of digits, enough slots for the 13 million one to 8 slots for 30 million. The 13 million ringgit times, let's say I put inside the fixed deposit, times 0.0. Don't touch the principal. The 13 million ringgit should not be touched at all. The principal, that's called the principal. The principal amount is 13 million ringgit. Never ever touch it. Don't spend it. So 13 million times 0.034. That means fixed deposit rate is 3.4. So 30 million times 0.034 equals, holy shit, every year I'll be getting 442,000 ringgit. Every year, 442,000 ringgit. Fuck me in the ass, man. I'm not gay, okay? A girl with a dildo, definitely you can do that. 442,000 ringgit. That's a lot of money per year to spend. This is the accrued interest. Without touching the principal means every year, if you don't touch the principal, you're getting this. Do you realize that if you are a frugal person, you can, like, if you don't work, you can only spend about 20,000 ringgit on food and a bit of the entertainment and also rent. Only 20,000 ringgit per year if you don't work. And if you're frugal and you don't go and solicit hookers and prostitutes, so 20,000 or 442,000. The chances of the principal actually growing and grows a lot. I mean, if you have a lot of money to start with, it will be very hard to actually spend it all, especially if your interest nets you 442,000 ringgit per year. That's roughly one house per year you can buy. And for the new generation, it takes 30 years for them to actually own a house. So you, with this interest, can buy one house without mortgage, without owing any money to anybody else or to the banks. One house per year. It's a lot of money, man. 442,000 ringgit. You can already buy 8 cheap cars, 8 new cheap cars. What else can you buy? 442,000 ringgit besides a property. Well, property is the smartest way to go. It's just buy a property. Hopefully nobody catches on or be suspicious about where you got the money and ask a lot of questions. Then it's down a rabbit hole. You'll be fucked. That's why she was trying to leave Australia. What's the saying? The goose is up. Okay. I do not know what's the goose is cooked. The goose is cooked. It's time for her to land herself in jail. What would I have done in her position, getting that money, that 4.2 million Australian dollars? I wouldn't have spent it on luxury items. I think she's smart enough not to spend it on luxury items like handbags. I'm not sure whether handbags has a value to it, but some people say it's a collector's item, and if she play her cards right, she knows which handbag to invest in. The rare bags that a lot of people sought after, and the value goes up and up. And hopefully it won't be like beanie dolls in the US, where people collected it and thought it would like go up in value, and suddenly there were too many of these beanie beanie bags, and the value just slumped, and it's just useless collection. Something like comics is just toilet paper, a toilet paper with lots of pretty pictures on it. If she was smart, she would have bought gold and try to send the gold back to Malaysia, courier it or something. Like, instead of bars of chocolate that she sends from Australia to Malaysia, she sends bars of gold that's wrapped in foil and with the Cadbury wrapping over it. That's very heavy. Maybe one small little bar of gold per month that she sends over. She had 2 years. I think she would have sent gold worth 1 million, at least 1 million Australian dollars to Malaysia. But I think she was too smart for her own good. I don't think she told anybody at all except for herself. Her parents, I don't know, I'm not sure. If she told her parents, then the parents would say, you shouldn't do that, you will get in trouble in life. Parents are very smart. They have salt of the years. They don't want their children to get in trouble, and they know that she will get in trouble in the end. Her circumstances are unique, and the authorities of the banks, Westpac in particular, would caught on with what they have done, because 4.3 million US dollars is, even though it's small, the amount is can be considered as small peas to a bank, but they have a accounting section, and they would definitely notice 4.3 million US, 4.3 Aussie dollars missing from their account books. So I don't think her parents knew about it, so she couldn't have sent bars of gold back to Malaysia, because that would make her parents an accessory to the crime. But it's kind of like a grey area, because they are not sure whether she did something wrong or not. The only thing that she should have, but not necessarily required by the law, is she should have told the bank authorities, I got 4.6 million in my bank account. What the f happened? She should have done that. She could have done that. Was she breaking the law by not telling them? Not necessarily. So it's better to feign ignorance. Wow, there's a lot of money in my bank account, and I might have Down syndrome in my mind, so I'm going to spend it on some chocolate bars, bars of gold to be more exact, not the foil type that wraps around the brown stuff that is sugary and chocolatey. No. Try to feign ignorance and just spend, maybe just spend the money. Bloody hell, there's so much money in her bank account. Try to take the money and put it somewhere else in Malaysia. Try to put it in physical form, not in a bank, maybe in bars of gold, just to be safe, because whatever's in the bank can be frozen, and that means you can say that your money is goodbye. You won't see the money anymore. So it's best to have something physical like gold. Send it back to Malaysia, keep it somewhere, blah blah blah. What would I have done with this much money? As I said earlier, put it in the bank if possible, and leave off the interest, which is substantial, 443,000 ringgit. I think she would have trouble spending this much money per year. Per year, man, per year, not over 10 years, but per year, 443,000 ringgit. With that amount of money, she could have travel the world. She would have seen the whole world with that money. Okay, she would not have any want at all. She has seen everything, done everything, all in the span of 1 year. And there's a next year she has to spend 443,000 ringgit, or I have to spend 443,000 ringgit. And oh my god, that's another level of shit, man. There's too much money. Bloody hell, what am I gonna do with it? There's so much problems, so many white people's problems, so much money to spend, and I already like seen the whole world. There's nothing else to see. I've seen Puka Pichu or Muka Pichu, Pika Pichu, Pikachu, the one in South America. I've seen that. I've gone to Japan to see the monkeys who love to go into the onsen during the winter. The onsen that's in the natural the what do you call heat springs, the natural spa spring, no, natural spring, hot springs, yeah, the natural hot springs. I would have gone to Hawaii to see the homeless people on the boulevard, or they call the word Esplanade. Would have gone to America to see the obese people. Would have gone and seen New York, see the cosplayers on the New York Times Square, is it called? Being hustled by cosplayers like Captain America, and they want money just so that you can photograph yourself with them, have a selfie with them, give them some money. Where else would I have gone? I would have gone to maybe Hollywood, maybe piss on somebody's actor's gates. I would maybe, yeah, I'm not sure what I'm going to do in California. Then what else? Maybe would have gone to not South Africa. Why would I want to go to Africa? I'm not into wildlife that can kill me, like lions and hippopotamus, the ones that they look docile and fat, with 4 big teeth, and that's the animal that seems docile and seems innocent enough, seems like it's not going to kill you. But in Africa, that's one of the animals, I mean, that's the top animal that will most likely kill you in Africa, the hippopotamus. Not the lions, it's the hippopotamus, not the hyenas. If you're Australian, you're afraid of hyenas. Oh my god, hyena! The hyena got my baby! No. Who wants to go Africa? Or who wants to go to Middle East or Africa? It's dusty, there's not enough greenery there, there's a lot of happenings, a lot of things happening there, explosions, not in terms of fireworks, but in terms of real artillery bombs and lots of bullets flying everywhere. Why would you want to go to the Middle East and Africa? It's scary. No. I will go to other places, maybe visit Russia, go to Everest, go to Kathmandu and see how's the restoration, how is it progressing, because they had the earthquake. Go to Japan and try all the food, all the ramen, all the attractions in Tokyo. Wow, so many things you could have done with 443,000 ringgit, and that's the interest alone. Fantasies were made of this, and she has lived the fantasy. Maybe think it would have really torn her apart in her brain. What she would have questioned herself, what she could have done, what she should do, should she tell the authorities, blah blah blah. There's a lot of internal conflict that's happening in her pretty little head. Definitely. I will be like questioning myself, is it good to spend the money now and think of the consequences later? Definitely yes, definitely spend now, think of the consequences later. I might owe money to the banks in the end, but fuck it, fuck it, fuck it all. Spend the money now, think of the future later, because the future is very, very dim. And that's about it. There's nothing else to say. Lucky girl. Lucky, lucky girl. Or maybe unlucky, who knows. So what would you have done in her place? So tell me in the comments below. If it's possible, go into detail. What are the steps that she should have done to cover up a crime and make the money unrecoverable, as I said earlier, maybe in terms of gold and stuff. And if you enjoy this video, do share it around, tell your friends and like it. And if you want to help me make more videos like this, go and try to support me on Patreon. It's just $1 per month or more, up to you, $12 per year.